Hello, I'm Mike Brewer with RÖHM Products. Today we're going to talk about our CoAE face drivers. We've got some innovative features that separate our face drivers from the other face drivers on the market. One is we've got a modular design so that we use one face driver body to cover a large range of work pieces. And instead of changing out the body every time we change a work piece, all we do is select the appropriate size center point and driver disc to create the optimum clamping diameter, and then we can place it onto our spindle and begin turning and or milling parts in one setup. We also have a spring-loaded center point. The spring can be adjusted with an Allen wrench and the shank. Next is our compensating pistons. The head of the face driver is filled with oil, and the three pistons that the driver disc sit on are able to compensate for an imperfect cut on the workpiece. So we are still able to get as many teeth as possible into the face of the workpiece to create as much torque as possible when the spindle turns.
We're doing assembly on CoAE, part number 1341542. This is 32 millimeter cylindrical shank. All right. And your first steps are to go ahead and loosely put in the vent screws. You always want to change that seal that's sitting right up there, and typically we will change both of these pieces out. All right. Take your Allen key and just put them just snug. It does not need to be tight at the moment. All right. Next up, after that, we'll go ahead and put in our center point locking pin. And this pin will go in with the longer side inwards. And sometimes it does move when you put it in the first couple times. You can also sometimes use a pick to go ahead and try to put that in a little better. Go ahead and put your spring and then your grease nipple. And this is going to be a 10 millimeter. Got snugged it up for now, and you can look down the center and see your locking pin is out. All right. Next up, you're going to be putting your spring pack in. And it's going to be a 8 or 10 millimeter, sorry. And this doesn't exactly matter right now because this you're going to be adjusting after you put it back on your machine. All right. Go ahead and come over here to your press. Go ahead and grab your pistons, which we also recommend changing them out completely. And we do sell them with the seals already installed. Go ahead and line these pistons up. And we're going to go ahead and fill this up with hydraulic fluid. This is also in your manual to fill each cylinder up all the way before going ahead and putting one in. Typically, I'll do them one by one. Okay, fill up your next one. Okay, and fill up your last one. Should look a little something like that. And side note, you want to be somewhat careful and a little bit clean. As you can see right here on the side, if you have a little bit of hydraulic fluid leaking out from the pressure, that is okay. Just go ahead and put a rag or whatever underneath And then go over here and grab a Allen key and snug that up just a little bit more, because we don't want to let all that fluid out right now. All right, we're going to go ahead and grab one of our driving discs. Go ahead and put that over the top right there. Go ahead and grab a piece of aluminum. Oh, actually forgot one thing. This is a 2mm thick piece of nylon. There, you go ahead and put this over. The distance between the piston and the body of the face drivers could be right around 2mm. Put that on top. Then you go ahead and get your driving disc. Set it right there. Put your piece of aluminum on. And then you want to go ahead and get these pistons straightened out as best you can. Okay. You want to go ahead and open up one side of your bleeders just a little bit. Does not need to be all the way out. Just enough so that it starts to leak out again. And slowly go ahead and press down on your press and let some of this fluid out. Like I mentioned before, it can get a little dirty, so keep some rags around. And you don't need to crank down on it, just enough to let fluid out enough so that it hits that nylon 2mm piece. And then tighten up that bleeder, release the pressure, take off all your pieces, and this is a removal. This could get a little tricky since it is got something underneath it blocking the entrance. Okay, there's that. Take your nylon piece out. Clean that afterwards. Lift this out and go and clean it the rest of the way off. And that's it. All back together.
We recommend getting an entire assortment kit for your face driver. The kit includes the body, the center points, and the driver disc to cover a full range of workpieces from 5/16 diameter up to 6 inches, weighing up to 220 pounds. There's also some spare parts, O-ring, some screws, and the carbide driver plates for harder materials. We've got a couple of questions that we need to ask before we can recommend the perfect face driver for your application. First, we want to know, how would you like to mount it to your spindle? We have the option of a Morse taper. We have a straight shank that can be clamped into a 3-jaw chuck or a collet chuck. Or we can mount directly to a bare spindle with our direct mount style. When we talk about the workpiece, we want to know the OD and ID of your workpiece and also the hardness. We would like to know if you're turning clockwise, counterclockwise, or both. And the teeth of our face drivers are directionally shaped to turn in that direction and to transfer the appropriate amount of torque. Our face drivers are fully rebuildable. We can replace the spring in the shank. We can replace the sealed pistons in the face. Of course, the center points and the driver disc are all replaceable. Once the bore where the center point goes is warped, we are no longer able to rebuild the center. So we want our customers to remain in the habit, get in the habit, and remain in the habit of greasing that center bore. And there's a grease fitting right in the side. All you have to do, put your grease pit gun in there, one push, and we got plenty of grease in there. That will help you control the temperature and keep the center bore from warping. the teeth in our driver disc are directionally shaped. We wanted to know at the time of purchase whether you're turning left hand, right hand, or if the same spindle will be used to do both directions. One of the things that trips us up in that conversation sometimes is the terminology of left hand and right hand. When we at RÖHM are talking about left hand or right hand, we are talking about the turning as positioned from the spindle side. So if we're turning left hand, we're turning away from the operator, and right-handed turning is turning towards the operator. Tooling guys often talk about it opposite of that because they are facing the other direction. The disc with the carbide teeth, you should have your 40 for the diameter of the outside diameter of the teeth here. We have L for our H for hard. That's what I think it means, but I think the German term for carbide would be what, Dennis? It starts with H?
H, yeah.
Tell me again?
Yeah. Hot Metall.
Hot Metall. That is for the carbide teeth. And then you also have your LS for left turning.